There was something I could have every single time I was doing any work, it'd be this. So get rid of these stupid thoughts. Bro, I'm bored. Just hop on the game or something. Oh, I'm hungry. Will you just eat the tangerine? Oh my, the balls, please. They're so itchy. Just do something. This sucks. There's been so many times where I'm sitting here just trying to get my work done. But nah, this guy decides to pop right in and throw a freaking party. Well, the thoughts I have are absolutely random. I have the ones that I had before, or I could feel like an absolute genius at times and come up with some theory that seems crazy but is plausible. As uncontrollable and random your thoughts might seem to be, in reality, they're very much controllable. It requires a little bit of mental fortitude and strength, which I think I've developed quite a bit from my own personal experience, and I think my friends can also vouch for me in that area. So here's 3 ways I got myself to control my thoughts. Daily life is chaotic. I get that. There's a lot of things to be done, and amidst that chaos, amidst all that information, distraction is very easy to come across. But there is a method to the madness, which is to frame your mind correctly. Now I understand that you can't block out hours and hours of time to just focus on one single task and get that laser focus. So when you do transition from task to task, take 1 or 2 minutes, just a break. It could be for a walk or, a little washroom break. Whatever it is, take some time, and during that little break, make an active effort to think about what you're about to do. The nature of it, the things that you actually have to get done, general information that's relevant. And there's no pressure for you to actually stay focused on that information, but it definitely helps you move toward focusing and locking in on the things that you actually need to. The reality is that you're gonna slip up and goof off, right? Thoughts are gonna come up and you're gonna get distracted. But that does not mean you let yourself continue to get distracted, which is why I propose that you need the mental fortitude and discipline to catch yourself and get back on track. Now, something that I personally do, which I do not recommend any of you do as well, is whenever I find myself slipping or my attention is, dropping, I just give myself a nice big slap on the face, where it ends up leaving my face a little red, but it gets the job done. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to teach my brain and myself that, slacking off equals bad. But you don't have to do something like that where you slap yourself in the face. I don't think any of you really want to do that to yourself. But another thing I really like to do in order to build the mental discipline and fortitude to push forward and not get sidetracked is denying myself something that I really want in the moment. So a lot of times I'm really hungry, so I won't eat until I finish all my work, which often ends up being like 8 p.m., which is, it is what it is. But it gets the job done and honestly really helps me stay productive and locked in during the day. Now, this is probably the most reliable of the 3 points, being that it actually gets your brain and yourself in the mood to actually work, and everything else is just super easy after that. But things that you have to consider about your environment are these 3 core things. First, lighting. How dark or bright is it? 2, the sound. How loud or silent it is. And 3, just the overall vibe and feel that you get from the place. For me personally, I really enjoy a library, but I don't really care how loud it is. I just need decent lighting and I can work perfectly fine. But for you, you do not need to go and test every single location. I think that's redundant and stupid. But just reflect on back some old memories where you got some really nice work done and where you did that work. And chances are, those sort of locations and those sort of environments are going to be the ones that you do your work best in. When a person has control over their mind, that tells me a lot about who they are. Unless you're in a vegetative state, your thoughts are always going to be there. So you might as well control them. So training the mind is something that cannot be neglected and should be kept up daily. That is, if you want to live as if you were actually living. But hey, If not, feel free to forget everything in this video.